Permaculture seems like sort of a lens for you to be able to look at all these problems as like a solution, or like a smaller, like easier solution that like nature's already doing and that we're not aware of. And it's like we've forgotten how to look at it that way. It was actually required for my major, but as soon as I started taking it, I realized that I wanted it to be my focus in my studies, because it just seems so real.
These are things you can do, and some of them are small and some of them are big, but they're all realistic, very like grounded kind of solutions to big problems and small problems. Having the opportunity to go into natural environments so close, it's a really valuable aspect of the course, that it wasn't just inside all the time.
I like that while there is still theory, a lot of it is practical knowledge that can be applied, and that really resonated with me.
Permaculture is attractive as an interdisciplinary study that is appealing to this new generation that really wants to learn sustainability and learn sort of tactile skills. And unlike a lot of like policy level kind of sustainability stuff, permaculture is really hands-on and kind of based in the ground. And so there's lots of activities and things that kids can get their hands on. It allows putting gardens in and talking about how gardens are a metaphor for sustainability.
What permaculture is the toolkit where we own that responsibility, we own that participation, and bring intention to making healthy ecosystems and healthy human systems. Permaculture is so expansive, as it's so much more than simply farming, it's so much more than simply our food systems.
The principles of permaculture can be applied to many different things. And that's something that I appreciate, that it can go into like looking at the system of education. It can go into so many different arenas, and I really like that. I think it's a nice philosophy as well.
Just the way that it encourages people to think is very different than other courses I've taken.
Just learning how to look at things differently was really a big part. Seeing how things don't work as like a sole one function, and that many things are intertwined together, helping one another.
I think it's like really rewarding to have just like that whole new lens. Small, slow steps, like small solutions, and just like a lot of observation can really get you a long way in these like huge issues.
Learning how to identify plants and seeing like what's edible, what's not, what's medicinal, and just seeing how like abundance is always around. It's just a matter of like how can I attune myself to see that. And that perspective shift has really brought a lot of joy in my life. Like I can wander around and see things, and if it's like season, I can harvest and make, you know, things and share that with other people, teach other people how to do it. My mindset has really shifted to being more like solution oriented versus like overwhelmed that there's a lot of things going on in the world. It's really like, oh, I see how like maybe this could be beneficial there, versus before just being like, oh, that's a really sad story. Like I don't know how it would. It's giving me tools to problem solve.
The final design course was amazing. I think the learning how to navigate those group dynamics, because it wasn't a solo project, it was with a bunch of other people.
We have an incredible diversity of you know, adult learners or non-traditional students in our courses, and it really changes the whole group dynamic when there's people with a professional interest in permaculture, whether as educators or as farmers or as landscape architects or as regional planners. And a lot of people who take the course as employees of the university come like thinking just that they'll end up with a plan for their yard or their house or whatever, and they're gonna, you know, make some gardens and stuff, and then they come out saying, this actually informs the way I deliver the material that I teach when I look at the relationship between humans and ecosystems.
It gets students out and about in the field, and not just thinking about the science around sustainability issues, but actually the practices and the values that inform those practices, and sort of looking at the whole picture versus looking at all the parts. So I think it really ties a lot together for students to kind of think about it, and also think about how it like relates to their actual lives. And so there's this element of sorting, helping them sort out some of their interests and seeing how one ties to the other. I think that's a really big benefit. And I actually think that a permaculture course could be a great prereq, a great first-year survey course of what are all the possibilities in the context of sustainability that one could explore.
I don't think you need to go to a university to take it. I think it was wonderful that I happened to be at a university that provided that. I think as far as getting a job in any sort of environmental field, I think having a PDC is definitely a bonus.
I think what excites me most about bringing academia and permaculture together is this sort of mutual benefit of shaking up the academic setting a little bit, having a little more multifunctional, discussion that's a little more relevant to directly to students' lives and something that they can really step into and get excited about.
It made me really see the importance of localizing food. It's that it's possible to grow what you need right here. You don't need to outsource everything, and so that's one of the reasons why I decided to start working at the farm. Just, it's a step in the right direction.
So it's given me like inspiration to go back home and work with other people and see what we can come up with.
In the future, I actually hope to do a farm-to-table food truck that travels like on a network of permaculture farms. It's a huge educational experience, as well as just like really gratifying for everyone who's involved on the earth, and that we can like be part of it without hurting it, and humans can actually be really beneficial. And that's a way that sustainability doesn't really look at things. It's like, how can we be more sustainable? Permaculture is like, how can we make this better with us, for everything?